Here and I am going to grab something really quick. I am so happy that you're here. We are going to be making our cloud slime. And I don't know if you guys have ever made this before, but I absolutely love this recipe. It's my favorite recipe. And I cannot wait to make it with you guys. All right. I had to take care of that and go. All right. So I am streaming on multiple platforms. You'll have to let me know where you're watching from, which platform and how your day's going. And definitely drop in the comments below what you might want to make with me in the future. So, do you want me to draw? Do you want me to paint? Do you want me to do oil pastels, watercolors? Like, what would it be? So, definitely drop some comments down below and let me know what sounds like fun. So, we're going to be we've got our measuring spoons. I like to use, it's actually a tongue depressor. I figured out if I bought tongue depressors instead of craft sticks, they're a little tiny bit thicker and they don't break as easily. So that's a little fun fact. We've got a measuring cup. I have some water in this cup. Yes, we're using borax, but it's just a teensy bit, and that is going to be our activator. And then I have some fake snow, and I will tell you, I believe it's Maddie Ray makes some fake snow, and I love that snow better than this snow, but this is what we have today. And then we're just going to use some Amazon Basics. It's like Elmer's glue. So Amazon Basics white school glue. Okay. We are going to start out. I'm just doing a half of a recipe. And if you guys want me to post the recipe, I'm happy to. But we're going to start out with a quarter cup. Ooh, the top is stuck on here. Sorry, guys. There we go. We're going to start out with a quarter cup of glue, and we're going to put that in our bowl. This is just a plastic bowl. Ooh, there we go, have two hands where I can squeeze it in there. So I'm going to fill this all the way up to the top. Notice that I don't open the top of my glue all the way. I just put a hole in the top so that way whenever I do pour, I'm not spilling it everywhere. Here we go. So we're going to use our stick and just kind of scrape that out. And it's okay if we don't get it all out. I will literally have kids spending hours trying to get all of their glue out. It cracks me up. Okay, now I managed to get glue all over my finger. There we go. All right, so now next thing that we're going to add is that we need to add 2 tablespoons of lotion, and this is lavender scented, but honestly, you could do, whatever scent you want, or don't do a scent, keep it neutral. There's one. And then we're going to do another one. There we go. Woo! Hit the floor. There we go. So we'll pour that in there. So, oh my gosh, I made a big old mess, guys. I didn't think there was that much left in there. Oops. That's okay. Story of my life. I'm always making messes that I have to clean up. I get it from my grandma, I think. Okay, so now we're going to mix this glue and lotion together. You really can't even tell the difference. Sensitive skin is a good one to always get to, because then that way whoever's playing with it, it's not going to irritate their skin. Okay, so then we're going to do a cup, or actually a half a cup in a tablespoon. So my half cup mark is right here. So we're going to do a half a cup of water and pour that in. And the reason why there is so much water and then 1 tablespoon is because the fake snow or faux snow needs all this extra water. Now, the trickiest part right now, guys, is getting the water and the glue and the lotion to all combine. You can also put a dye in if you wanted to, but don't feel like that you have to. I'm just gonna put one little drop of blue. I don't know what is up with this blue, but I'll tell you what. Anytime we put this blue into our slime, if the kids put too much, their hands are totally, they turn into Smurfs. They become Smurfs. So we're gonna mix this together, and it does take a minute, so you just gotta work it, work it, work it. We will be making slime at Fall Break Camp. Fall Break Camp's coming up here really soon. That looks so cool. I don't know if you guys can see that, but very cool. But we don't want it to look like that. Even if it does look cool, we don't want it to look like that. So we've got to work on getting this completely mixed. So I'm just working, 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 working. If you had like a little baby whisk, that would be super cool. Use a little baby whisk in there. Sometimes even using a fork, honestly, like helps kind of mix things together. So this is like the longest part, probably. I don't know, maybe activating it might be one of the longer parts too. But we're gonna mix all of this together. And then while we mix it together, we are going to then, I'm gonna let that sit just for a second. We need half, oh wait, no, no, no. Mix the borax into a cup of warm water until it's completely dissolved. Oh, 1 cup of water. Okay, so we're gonna do a half a cup. I have to use a recipe because if I don't use a recipe, anybody that knows me knows that I'm gonna mess it up. So I gotta use a recipe. And no, Mom, I'm not adding cinnamon. That's the running joke in my family. Haha. So, and then a teaspoon of borax. So since I'm splitting the recipe in half, I'm just doing a half of a cup of water and a half of a teaspoon of borax. So see, it's not very much at all. So we're gonna get that half a teaspoon, level it off at the top and get this big old box out of our way. We're gonna sprinkle that in there and stir it up. I know borax was kind of frowned upon for a while, but this is just the teensiest bit. And there's so much more that's gonna be in this bowl that it hasn't ever irritated my skin. It hasn't irritated my skin, the skin of the kiddos who do this project with me, because this is not all going in here. It's just so that we have enough if we need it, but we probably won't need all of this. So we're gonna mix that up. The reason they say warm water is because warm water helps things dissolve faster than cold water. I don't know if you knew that or not. There we go. So borax is very grainy. That's why you hear that kind of salty sound. So we're gonna keep mixing this now too. Lots of mixing. We're getting our PE in, we're getting our science in. If you mix colors, you get a little art in with this project. So right now what's happening is we're kind of creating all, mixing all the bonds of the water and the glue and the lotion. And then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add a tablespoon and a teaspoon of instant snow to this. And it is so cool what happens. So when you add in your instant snow and into this, I want you to not stir it. So if you decide to do this recipe at home, don't stir it. So right now in here, I have a 1/4 cup of white school glue. I put in a table or 2 tablespoons of lotion. I put in a half a cup plus a tablespoon of water. You could do warm water. Maybe the warm water would have helped my glue dissolve faster. And then this over here is a half a cup of water and a half a teaspoon of borax. So that's all we've done so far. And I added 1 tiny drop of blue food coloring in here. All right, so now we are going to take our fake snow, and I'm down to the last little bit of it. Gotta order some more. And like I said, I like the Maddie Ray I think that's who it is. Maddie Ray on, it's like special fake snow for slime. Okay, so here's a tablespoon. I'm gonna sprinkle that on top. And then I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see what's happening. Look at the wrinkles happening in that slime. Is that not so cool? The water is literally, or the snow is literally absorbing all of the extra water that we put in our bowl. And I think it looks like blue brains. What do you guys think? Definitely lots of wrinkles, right? Okay, we still got to put a teaspoon of this. When you do pink, guys, it really does look like a brain. Okay, teaspoon of that. There we go. I think we're, maybe we're not done with this. Okay. But now I could go ahead and mix this together very carefully. So I don't want to spill it all over the table. Hey, my slime is kind of matching my table, especially before I mixed it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but the goal is it's going to keep the snow is going to keep absorbing the water and the glue that's in this bowl, and it's going to almost turn into a cottage cheese consistency, which I know sounds disgusting because we're making slime, but it's actually just so cool, guys, for real. See how thick it's getting? And that's just all from the fake snow. So cool. At this point, it's almost like you can't really mix anymore. You almost have to like mush. Okay, so when we add our activator, we're gonna mush. Now, the goal of the activator is we just put in about a tablespoon at a time, okay? My tablespoon is still covered in snow. I wonder if I could scrape this out. Use our little stick as a scraper. Let's kind of mush this extra snow into our slime here. Whoop. Now I just used, in case you missed it, just good old Amazon school glue. It works just fine. You don't have to use the Elmer's, but you can. You can use Elmer's. All right, so now we're going to start working on putting a tablespoon at a time into our bowl, okay? So, right? Yeah. Oh, no, it says a teaspoon at a time. Here we go, teaspoon. And then we just pour it on. And what happens is I always put like 3 in to get started because I know I'm going to need it at least. This is our activator, okay? And so I'm going to start working this activator into our slime. Whoop. Might have should have got a bigger bowl. And this was a half recipe. Imagine if I was making a whole recipe. I definitely need a bigger bowl. So again, you can't really stir it. So instead I am mushing, 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 mushing. Okay. There we go. Whoop. All right. So add another teaspoon at a time. Eventually, or 2 teaspoons at a time. Eventually, you're going to have to ditch the stick and start using your fingers. Okay, so I'm going to keep mushing with my stick. Mushing, mushing, mushing. Oh, I've got class in an hour and a half. Class in an hour and a half. We have art enrichment tonight. Starts a new month. October art enrichment. Oh, and then Tuesday nights, same time, 5:30. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. Thursdays are homeschool days, so it's either 1 or 2:15. Oh my goodness. Okay, yep. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to, like I said, just do a little bit at a time, and we're gonna start mushing, okay? So we're gonna start mushing it in. What we're trying to get happen right now is we are trying to get our chemical bonds to happen that connect all the goo that's in the bowl, the glue, the food dye, the lotion, the fake snow, okay? And this recipe should not be sticky at all. Like not at all by the time you're done, which is what's so incredible about this recipe. Okay, see, it's a little bit sticky on me, but pretty incredible. So what I'm doing right now is I'm really trying to squish this slime because like I said, we want those chemical bonds to happen, those molecules to connect. We want our molecules to be able to stretch, and it's getting there. See how it's kind of like kind of tears off in slow chunks. And when it does tear, it's kind of looking like a little bit of a spider web. Well, we want it to look like a spider web without actually like dropping in chunks. We just want it to spread, like to stretch. But as it stretches, it's not like actual slime that stays whole. It turns into a spider web looking slime or cotton candy. Maybe you want to think about it like that. So I'm going to keep kind of mushing and pulling, mushing and pull, mush and pull. We're trying to train our slime to do what we want it to do. Okay. So mush and pull. Mush and pull. So far, I think I put what? 3, 4, 5. Did I put 5 teaspoons in so far or 7 of activator? You'll have to tell me. If you're watching this on a rebroadcast, what's so amazing is you can pause and rewind. So that's pretty cool. I'll be doing another project on Thursday live. Now, those of you parents who do not like slime in your house, like I said, this is such a great slime because it's really not that sticky at all. And it's, even if it was, guess what? There's a magic word, vinegar. Vinegar deactivates slime and it gets it out of things it doesn't belong in. So now let's see. Oh, it's getting there. Look at that. It's starting to be more cotton candy like, but it's still kind of breaking off in chunks. So we got to keep working it. This is the PE coming into play. We're getting our exercise in. So we're like really smushing this stuff, okay? We're really smushing it. All right. So you guys will have to drop a comment and let me know what your favorite kind of slime is. I found this recipe on Pinterest and it just is really, really good. And I don't even know if I can, yeah, I'll have to go back and find where the original recipe came from so that I can tag it. But okay. There we go. Now, if you need to at any point, if yours is not passing the stretch test, it says the drizzle test. Fluff the slime out by stretching and then letting it drizzle down. If it falls quickly, you need a bit more activator. If it's barely falling, you need a bit more water. So I think we might need just a smidge more activator. So I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to kind of drizzle a teaspoon on there. So there's a teaspoon of activator in there. And we're just going to kind of mush it in. So I'm taking the edges, folding them in. And if you keep doing that, that will work the activator all throughout the slime. Here we go. The kids ask me to do this during art lessons all the time. And I'm like, I don't think your parents want to do this during art lessons. But we are doing it during fall break camp. And we have slime nights occasionally. So, and we definitely do slime birthday parties. Okay. So again, you got to really train your slime, like get those bonds going. And the cool thing about, oh, we could have added a smell, which mine has a smell since it was lavender lotion. It was lavender scented lotion. Oh yeah, I still have that mess on the floor to clean up. Oops. Okay. Accidents happen. Okay, and remember, if slime gets on something it's not supposed to at home, which I hope your kids will be responsible for you, but you can definitely use vinegar, just good old white vinegar and a scrubby brush, and it'll come right out. Okay. Ooh, yes, look at that. So see how it looks very kind of cotton, whoop, cotton candy like? That's what we're going for right there. Okay, so that is going to be your cloud slime. I think it needs just a little bit more activator because we don't want it to fall down in chunks. But this is basically it, guys. There we go. So I am happy to update my description, and I'll put the recipe in the description for you. But really, the activator part, guys, like, it's really hard to say it's going to be this exact amount every single time because, maybe somebody got a little extra lotion, or somebody got a little bit more food dye, or somebody accidentally put a little bit more water. So it's really hard to say on the activator if it's going to be that amount specifically. That's why you only put in a teaspoon at a time. Okay. Oh my gosh. Adults, you will love making this. I promise. I promise you, you will love making it because it's just like the best fidget. I don't know why, just something about it is kind of calming and fun. And I think, kids will sit, you just put a tablecloth out for them. They'll sit at the table for a long time and play. And this is even so thick that they could like sculpt with it, which is cool. Okay. Well, that had a big old chunk in it. Maybe if I use a little bit less. What if we use a little bit less? There, yes. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. So basically, that's kind of the consistency that you're going for. All right. And like I said, I mean, it sticks a little, guys, but look, it just comes right off. So you don't even have to stress about it. Or you can use a little bit of slime and you dab it, and you can just get it right off of your skin, and it'll wash off. And then if it gets on something it doesn't belong on, like clothes or hair, you can use vinegar, a deactivator. But honestly, this is a type of slime that's completely different than that like slimy slime. I think this would just like come right out of clothes, but I don't really want to test it out right now. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching me. I had a great time making cloud slime with you. And if you have questions, drop me a comment. I'm happy to answer them. I know sometimes slime making is intimidating, but I have made so much of it that it's like it doesn't intimidate me anymore. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer that for you, and or if you need some suggestions or something like that. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I hope that you have a great week, and hopefully this was a fun start to your week. And I will be back on here Thursday and we'll do some more art. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.